That was a fantastic episode. Way, way better than the one we had last week. Now, my original complaint was to do with the fact that nobody seemed to know who in the hell Moroha was, which is Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter. Mainly, the freaking people that lived the majority of their lives with the man. And I had said something to the degree that perhaps they, something had happened where people's memories and stuff have been altered, and there is a hint of something like that in this episode. But we'll jump to that in a second. But, when Kohaku then was talking to Lady Kaede, Kohaku even mentions Lord Sesshomaru and Lady Kagome. So, first off, they called Sesshomaru Lord, but they never called Inuyasha Lord. So, has he done something to gain some kind of title or something? That's going to be interesting to see. But the sheer fact is that they know who they are. So I still have the complaint of, why the hell did you attack Mohada? You know who the two people are. It's clear as day it's their freaking daughter. You even have the people in the new era saying the same thing when they saw her. But I'll get to that. I will get to that. So we picked the episode back up where we left last time, where Mistress Three Eyes, which is apparently her name, that's a really creative name. Yeah, come on, guys. But anyways, the big snake demon that they were fighting, they throw down, Setsuna, Toa, and Mohoda are protecting or fighting it and trying to protect Toa's family. And it's the pearl in Toa's eye, apparently it activates and is able to take Toa's broken sword and creates like a freaking, I forget what they call it, like a demon blade or something that she's from her powers. It kind of like a lightsaber looking thing. It's pretty fucking cool. But she uses it, takes out the demon, and then this little root thing that's apparently an off branch of the demon that was prevalent in the very first episode. The one that was after the Shikon Jewel. It burrows its way into Toa's eye. But I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. First off, after they do that, before the thing takes over Toa, Setsuna does not remember who Toa is. She's like, I ain't got no damn sister. You my sister? Prove it to me with a fight. Just like her damn daddy, too. It is awesome. But, she can't remember who Setsuna is. Setsuna cannot remember who Toa is. So, they start throwing down a little bit. And, Mohoda's like, in there, she's like, nah. You guys, I can sense that you're both half demons. And y'all have a similar, energy, demon scent or something like that. I think she said demon energy or something. Pretty interesting powers there by Mohoda. But what I found interesting to know is that she called them both half-demons. So that confirms that Sesshomaru has indeed been with a human girl. And we all know what that means. Get your Sesshomaru x Rin banners going now, because I'm calling it right now. Sesshomaru did the nasty in the pasty with Rin. Is that 100% confirmed? No. But I'm 99.99% sure Majority of the fandom was calling that when the anime started. Majority of the people were all on board with, like, it makes freaking perfect sense. The only problem a lot of people were complaining about, oh my god, she's so young. You know, and we was like, nah, dog, time skip, all that shit. We don't know how much of it. We know there's been a 14 or 10-year time skip since Setsuna and Towa were 4 years old. We don't know between the time skip of the first episode and when they were born. So, you know, if it was only like a year or so after that and Rin was still a child, I can understand having a problem with that. But I'm still under the assumption it was probably a good, 5 to 7 year time skip before Sesshomaru had his kid. It all depends on how old Kohaku's son is. Not really sure if they gave any confirmation on his age yet. It's probably online somewhere. But regardless, fact remains, Sesshomaru banged a human girl. It's almost 99% certain gonna be Rin. Take that how you will. I was okay with it when I thought that's what it was, and I'm still okay with it now. But it's cool because Moda says she smells the scent on, or the power from Towa. She's like, your dad must be the great Lord Demon Sesshomaru. And then she's talking about how since they're half demons, their powers aren't as great as that of a full demon. And that is when that little root thing digs its way into Towa's eye and starts taking control of her. So then her and Setsuna start fighting, and we get to see more of what Towa can do when being controlled. Then the root thing claws out of her after Towa's little sister May keeps calling out to her. And the root takes over May, and then Towa's all like sad and shit because she's like, I let this happen. I keep causing trouble for his family and everything. And then Setsuna does this really badass ability where she's able to, I think it's called like powder of the sleeping moth or something, and she's able to put everybody there asleep. Like, that's hype. Is she a badass for sure? Not gonna deny. And then she's able to get rid of the demon inside of Towa's sister. And then we get to see them chilling at Towa's house. And this is where we'll get to what I was saying earlier, and we'll connect to what was said in the past era too. But the grandpa and Kagome's mom both they were talking about how, first they're like, oh, this is so nostalgic. It's like when Inuyasha used to come and visit Kagome. And then they're talking about how Mohoda looks a lot like Kagome. I'm like, thank you! So these people that, only seen Inuyasha, a few times. He was there a couple of times, but he never spent a super large amount of time at Kagome's. It was usually the other way around. And granted, they don't mention that he looks like Inuyasha, but that's okay because they would have never seen Inuyasha in his black form. But they acknowledge that it looks like Kagome, that it should be Kagome's daughter. Okay? So, they've known Kagome their entire lives. They're able to say, hey, I'm pretty sure that's Kagome's daughter. Which means that her and Inuyasha did the nasty and the pasty as well. So I still have to go back to my original complaint that, seriously, Kohaku and all you other guys, you've known Inuyasha at this point as long as Kagome's parents knew her. Okay? Literally as long. And you still can't say, okay, let's just say we don't remember Inuyasha had black hair, okay? But you're still wearing Inuyasha's clothes, or at least clothes that look like Inuyasha's, and you look like Kagome. But let's just attack you, Unoi's. I am going to ride that fucking rant until I get some damn answers. Still pissed off about that. Just saying. But anyways. Kaede is explaining how the root demon or whatever, root head I think is what it's called, the one that was after the Shikon Jewel from the first episode, has attached itself somehow to the Tree of Ages, or the Sacred Tree. And then she's explaining to them the Bone Eater's Well and how Kagome and them use it to travel across time to the other world and everything. And that apparently, since it somehow has gotten itself to this tree and become a part of it, is able to utilize that power, since the Bone Eater's Well was made with wood from the Sacred Tree. Then we cut back to what was that in the real world with Kagome's brother and his wife, also making mentions that Mohara is probably Kagome's daughter. So I want to know, why the fuck is the people in the other world attacking Mohara? She's clearly not a bad person. She's a freaking goofball. You know? She's everything good about her dad and all the pure innocence that Kagome put together. So I don't understand. I don't. But I like how his wife just takes everything in stride. He's like, I told you demons are real. She's like, yeah, I know, I believe you, you know, but you know, this sword was from the museum. She's like, I don't care about the demons though. Like, you broke the sword. You broke the freaking sword. And she's like, well, I guess I'm having to hang on to it longer. So I like how she's just chilled everything. And she's like, oh, well, then that makes her a relative. So, you know, I like how they're trying to connect the past anime with this in terms of the nostalgia of saying, hey, here's some of the old characters talking about how this new characters remind them of their friends and stuff. That, I'm digging it. Okay. But I do have to, again, go back to my rant with Kohaku and them. It's like, okay, so Kaede even mentions Motoda by name. And she gives them the rundown about what's happening with Setsuna and how she had this twin sister, Towa, and everything. And talks about, yeah, you know, Sesshomaru just showed up one day, took his girls and left. And I didn't see any of them again until one day Setsuna came. And she was having to do something called the Trial of Courage and Cowardice or something, you know, where Sesshomaru's just basically like, you know, you go out there basically being a Saiyan. He's like, hey, you know, go, be strong. You come back strong, I respect you. That's the way I'm taking it. So, Kaede and all them can tell that, well, apparently they didn't know Setsuna was Sesshomaru's daughter, which I guess I can kind of see. She has some similarities to Sesshomaru, but not a lot. She's definitely more resemblance to the human, which I'm still saying is Rin. But the evidence is clear as day that Mohara is obviously Kagome's daughter. And Kaede knows who Mohara is, apparently. From their conversation, I'm assuming she does. And she, of all people, should know everything that's happening. So, that just raises more questions. But, on to, I said that the whole memories being affected thing would play part. And it does get brought in an episode. So, when Towa's asleep at the end of the episode, and then Motoda is talking to Setsuna, they're all chilling in her room. She mentions that she can't sleep, or Motoda calls her out and says, you can't sleep, can you? Because she's saying, you know, anybody that indulges themselves in sleep, well, that can't be my sister. And then Motoda's like, bitch, you can't sleep at all. And she's like, it's not that you don't sleep, it's that you can't sleep. And apparently there's just something called a dream butterfly or something like that, that apparently showed up and ate her dreams or something, and because of that, she can't fall asleep. She's been cursed, apparently. I'd made mention that maybe this is something to do with the ReZero situation where Rim got her memories, or her existence in everybody else's memories was erased when she fought against Sloth or whatever, or Gluttony. And that is seemingly kind of what's happening here, because Sesson is like, I ain't got no memories of my childhood, and I don't know who this bitch is. And Toa overhears all this, and she's like, something like, "Oh, Sutsu, you can't sleep," or something. And then the episode ends there. And then we'll get the preview for the next episode, and that's hype, because apparently they're making a deal with the tree or whatever to go back through the portal to their world, and we see Kikyo spirit inside the freaking tree, and she's like, I have a request to make of you daughters of Sesshomaru. I'm like, oh my god, that is hype. That is how you do this shit. Fucking Boruto should get off his fucking ass and take some notes off of how you do a goddamn fucking sequel anime. Or a spin-off sequel anime. Not perfect. It could still fuck it up. But so far, they've got what they've gotten right. They've gotten really right. In 3 episodes. And a preview of the 4th. So, get that Boruto trash out of here. And see what's happening with the real OG shit. Just saying. But anyways. Yeah. It was a better episode. I did think it was better. But I'm still... The art style itself is not bad, but it just, some of the characters, like Kaede especially, you can just tell is not the same. It's just, the original Inuyasha art is so iconic. It's you can't really, it's really difficult to duplicate that, but, oh my god, it's not bad, but, man, I just wish that they would have done more of an attempt to try and make it look original. That's a minor complaint. Besides everything that I had a rant on, I thought it was a better episode. Some characters are finally starting to say, hey, is this Kagome's daughter? And we're starting to get a little bit of backstory about, what happened with Sesshomaru. We still don't know what happened to Kagome and Inuyasha. All we know is they're referred to as Lord and Lady. So apparently they did something that made them a big deal, but aside obviously from saving the world from Naraku and the Shikon Jewel Demon. But I don't we don't know what's up with them after that. But yeah, it's a better episode. We're gonna see where it goes. Everybody got their little rainbow pearls back and all that. It's kind of cool to see how they apparently, Moda says something that you can only have those if you're like a half demon or something. So that's interesting. I'll have to see where that goes. And apparently they somehow they give you power stuff. So that's going to be really neat. I'm starting to get hyped for it now, especially that next episode Kikyo. Freaking hype. Not gonna lie. We're gonna see where it goes. What do you think? Are you enjoying it? Are you having problems with his aim? Are you still having the fucking pissed off problem with Kohaku? Because I sure as hell am. Let me know what you think. You enjoying this so far? Do you think they're doing a better job of doing a spinoff than, let's face it, Boruto? Because if you ain't told by now, you ain't seen by now, Boruto's trash. Just saying. Parts of it are good, but it's trash. As an adaptation. Or a sequel. But yeah, what do you think? Any theories? Do you think Rin is the one that Sesshomaru's banging? Or do you think it's another person? How do you feel about that? What do you think? What's happened to Kagome and Inuyasha? Are you excited to see Kikyo come back? Go wild. Let me know what you think.